Hey there, Erin Moss here with In the Kitchen with Erin and also Erin Moss Oils and Wellness with a Plan. I just love teaching about aromas, essential oils, and wellness. And so today I want to explore the option of simmer pots. So have you been hearing about these where you pour stuff in a pot and you can simmer it, or you can actually use a small crock pot and you can pour things into it. So you can use things like pine, cedar, apples, oranges, grapefruit, ginger, vanilla, cranberries, lavender, different herbs. And I've actually created an ebook with 20 different recipes for simmer pots. So back here, I've already started putting some together as I'm going to be giving these away as gifts, and whatever I don't give away, I can use for myself. So the power of aroma is so powerful. When I think of aromas, like when you walk into a house and someone's baking chocolate chip cookies, doesn't that just make you feel so happy and relaxed and like, oh my goodness, I want some of those cookies? So the same thing with these different aromas. When you're looking at spices, for example, spices can have a very uplifting, cozy, warm feel, but they can also, from a wellness perspective, be beneficial for immune support. When you're looking at citruses, like grapefruit, lemons, oranges, those can also be very uplifting to the mood. They have great cleansing properties, great for the respiratory system and digestive system. When you look at things like eucalyptus, people know eucalyptus as being great for the respiratory system. Plus it has more like a spa earthy aroma. Then when you start getting into cedar and pine, the tree oils or the tree aromas, they're very grounding, especially if you have a stressful environment. Not to mention they just remind you of the outdoors. And so I'm going to show you a few of the simmer pots that I've put together. I also have a free 5 recipe download below. Feel free to click on that and you can go ahead and download that. Something else interesting that I did this time, since this year we bought a freeze dryer, is I'm actually freeze drying some of my citruses and the apples and the cranberries, as those are things that are in season and I can actually freeze dry those and put them away. The thing to remember though with the citruses is as they start to take back on the moisture, if you have a freeze dryer and you'll be freeze drying some of these, is they will start to get sticky. So it is important with the citrus ones, try to use those up quicker. You can also dehydrate these in your oven if you don't have a dehydrator, like around that 125, 135 degrees. Put them on a cookie sheet and then set them in the oven, and it could take up to 24 hours. If you have a dehydrator, you could also use that, and just keep an eye on it. They will get hard and crunchy, but then when you go and put them in the water, as you'll see in my examples, they start to rehydrate. And I love freeze drying them because to me, they hold the aroma so much better than dehydrating. So that's something to keep in mind as well. When it comes to putting the simmer pots together, one tip I found was that these Mylar bags not only look really nice, but they're going to help hold in that aroma and moisture, and they're really easy to fill. Plus, they have a stand-up bottom on them, and I'll include that link in my DIY shop below. So with this recipe, it was oranges, apples, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of lavender flowers, and then a teaspoon of cloves. And so having that citrus floral spicy aroma was really, really fun. Not to mention it just looked really cute. And then I did pre-purchase these gift tags and I actually just slid them right inside. And again, I just feel like it just made them look so nice and everybody could see what was in them. Now another one that I created, the next one I created is the Apple Spice Breeze. And this one has apples, clove, eucalyptus leaves. Now, when you order those on Amazon, you could either order them stemmed or just the leaves, so whichever you prefer, and then 2 cinnamon sticks. So again, just a really fun aroma with these. I did find that like the fruits and things, they don't last as long as the spices. So the spices, you can easily get 3 or 4 days of aroma out of those. But when it comes to the fresh stuff, it just doesn't seem to last as long. Now with this cozy herb and spice, I did ginger, cinnamon, rosemary,
and clove. And as you can see, that's kind of what it looks like in my simmer pot. Now, if you want to do one of these types of crock pots, you could. I did find that this one is not as aromatic as steaming it on the stove. But just kind of showing you with my freeze-dried fruit here, once I threw it in, like it really holds its color nice compared to, dehydrated in the oven. But it absorbs the water really nice, and it smelled really good and lasted a couple days in here. Just keep adding more water to your simmer pot.
Now, something else I would like to highlight here is the benefits of using essential oils over the herbs or the spices and different things like that. So essential oils are the aromatic compounds of these plant materials. So for example, rosemary essential oil is the steam distilled aroma from the rosemary herb. And although the herb has a much lighter flavor when you're using it in cooking, the essential oil is a much more concentrated version. So for example, let's say you like one of these simmer pot recipes. So with the exception of cranberries, apples, coffee beans, those are items you cannot make an essential oil out of. And if you found one in the store, it's most likely a synthetic version of an essential oil, and it's not truly the aroma extracted from that plant material. So with the essential oils, all you have to do to make this simmer pot in a much more affordable form is to get a diffuser. So this one's a water diffuser, and you just pour water into it up to the line, and then you add your drops accordingly. So for example, 1 teaspoon of rosemary is equivalent to 1 drop of essential oil. Same thing with orange peels, lemon peels. The essential oil is in the rind of that. And so all you have to do is add, like if you're adding 1 or 2 oranges, do 2 drops of essential oil, and you can create that simmer pot experience. So even like with this one, as my aromas are flaring here, I could rehydrate or re-aroma this blend by adding a couple more drops of essential oil. Then you have the cute ambiance of it, but then you're getting that aroma after the next day when that aroma has kind of fizzled out of the product itself. Because basically when you're boiling these simmer pots, you're releasing the essential oil out of those items to get that aroma in your home. And so that's why I love diffusing with the essential oils. Now, quality does matter, and I can't stress that enough. It is so important to use a quality essential oil, a therapeutic grade, third-party tested. If you can find out about their sourcing, where they're sourcing these essential oils, that's even better, because when essential oils are grown all over the world, then you have the growers selling to a distiller. Then the distiller distills that plant material and sells that essential oil to a broker. A broker then will, who knows, could be adulterating the essential oil to make more money. And if it's missing a certain chemical profiles, they can add artificial ingredients to it at this point, and then it is sold to an essential oil distributor. So knowing that distillation process is very important. So the reason I've gone with doTERRA is because doTERRA partners with their growers. They use a co-impact sourcing model where doTERRA is on the ground with the farmers, helping them with getting the best out of their product, harvesting it at the right time so that you have the peak wellness performance of the essential oil. And then doTERRA then, after it has been distilled, brings the bottle back. It is then third-party tested through another lab to make sure that there's no contaminants. It has the chemical profile that they are looking for. doTERRA is very wellness focused. Their essential oils are available for specific wellness concerns and needs, not just for aroma, although the aroma is super beneficial as there's so many fun things that you can make with it. But I just kind of wanted to give you a little backstory on the importance of why this matters. And if you can eat it, there should be a supplement fact label on that bottle, which means it has been tested and is safe for internal consumption. So we know we can add rosemary to our food. You can add this rosemary to your food also. In fact, it's very beneficial for respiratory support. So even adding it to your diffuser and diffusing it, adding it to a soft gel and taking it internally for digestive benefits. There's so many good things that you can do with these essential oils. So for starters, we have rosemary and rosemary herb, so you could easily swap those out. So we don't have star anise or allspice as an individual essential oil. I do have star anise, but it was an exclusive. We have clove essential oil, so we have clove to go with the clove bud. And even though clove itself is not an expensive spice, this is where like the oil is super affordable. We have black peppercorns. We also have black pepper and pink pepper essential oil, so you could easily swap those out. We don't have nutmeg essential oil at this point. We do have vanilla beans, and this vanilla essential oil is so tasty. And you can actually use this one in your coffee as well as lattes and different things like that. Then eucalyptus. doTERRA has a eucalyptus blend which actually has 5 species in here. So you're not limited to just one species, you have 5. And eucalyptus can be used for physical muscle discomfort as well as respiratory support. I love diffusing that one even at bedtime with lavender. Cedarwood. That is another fun essential oil. And remember, the trees oils are very grounding and calming. So that is a great bedtime essential oil as well. We have regular pine. So there's a couple ideas with pine. And one that comes to mind is Siberian fir. So another type of fir oil. There's also Douglas fir. And doTERRA has a couple tree blends as well if you're interested in a blend. What I love about Siberian fir is not only can you use it topically on your muscles and for discomfort, you can use it in the diffuser. This one can also be used internally for discomfort. So how cool is that? Douglas fir to me smells like a pine tree forest next to an apple orchard. So even though we don't have an apple essential oil, this one comes in really close, the Douglas fir, for having that apple aroma in there as well. Then we've got peppermint tea, which I actually freeze dried my own peppermint tea this year. There is a peppermint essential oil. Digestive benefits as well as it's cooling to the skin. So if you're feeling really warm drinking peppermint tea, it's also great for respiratory support. Spearmint, very similar. And spearmint is like super cooling in one of my recipes that's in here. It's kind of like a spa day one. And so I love this one. Not only is it awesome as a tea for digestive benefits and can also be used for head tension and different things like that, but you could add it to ice cream and give it that nice minty flavor. So fun. Ginger. So if you have ginger powder or ginger herb, we also have a ginger oil, great for digestive benefits. Lavender flowers. There's also a lavender essential oil, and that one is so good for bedtime. I keep it in the kitchen in case I touch a hot pan. I can just put it on my skin right away. In the summer months, I like to add it to a spray bottle, mist it on my skin if I've been in the sun too long. Just helps my skin recover. Then let's move on to some of the citrus oils. So there is, as you can see, I freeze dried orange, grapefruit. There's also orange essential oil. There's grapefruit essential oil, and these can be much more cost effective than buying the fruit itself because the essential oil comes from the rind of the fruit. And so you could be getting those aromatic benefits by diffusing it, using it in your simmer pots, but also it has a supplement fact label, so you could be using it in your water for flavoring. It's great for digestive benefits. It's also very uplifting to the mood, especially when diffused. Another great citrus oil that I don't have the fruit for is bergamot. And that one is really good for the winter months, especially if you struggle with winter blues. Diffusing that one, breathing that in, it's so beneficial even to your immune system. Other spice oils. So for those of you that like buying the cinnamon sticks, and I love getting cinnamon sticks, they're so affordable and they're just so fun. But there is cinnamon essential oil, but there's also another part of the cinnamon plant called cassia. Both are very warming and they're great for the immune system, great for digestion. So it's so fun to diffuse those, but you can also use those in cooking or internally for those immune and digestive benefits as well. And it's crazy to me how much plant material it takes to make these bottles of oil and the fact that they're so affordable. Two other spices that I don't have the ingredients for would be juniper berry and cardamom. Cardamom is great for respiratory benefits, has more of a chai-like flavor and aroma, and so that one can be definitely added in with these different spices to create a different blend. Juniper berry is great for like urinary tract, bladder, but also really good for, on an emotional standpoint, fear. And so using that one in the diffuser with lavender is so good if you have littles that have a hard time sleeping at night. Now, as far as the tree oils, another blend that I absolutely love is called Shinrin Yoku. This is a blend of tree oils. It was actually created for nurses in the hospital during the COVID time when nurses needed a place to go to calm down, to de-stress. That blend is amazing. Highly, highly recommend that one. Then there are two holiday blends before I go that I want to tell you about. There's Holiday Joy and Holiday Peace. So as much fun as making all of this is, the cool part is these two oils pretty much sum up everything that's on my counter right here. So Holiday Joy is more of your citruses and your spices. Holiday Peace is more of your citruses and trees. And you could add these together, you could use them separately in a diffuser, you could make your own room sprays. In fact, I just created a 12 recipe guide for 12 sprays of Christmas. And so you could be taking these essential oils just like these simmer pots and making room sprays out of them. Another really fun one is air fresheners. Make your own air fresheners with your essential oils. Hang it in your car, pick your favorite blend. And then I've got all of this in another video and a very simple download if you're interested. And it even comes with the labels. And then if you're one that loves to make samples, you could make the samples of these essential oil blends and then send them out to your friends. Thanks so much for joining me today and learning about simmering pots, how you could use these for some fun gifts, about the essential oils and how the two can meld together. And so don't forget, I have that 5 recipe guide for free as a digital download below. If you'd like to purchase all 20 recipes, I have that link below as well. And if you have any questions, essential oil or simmering pots, feel free to leave them below. I will check them and answer back. Thanks for supporting my small business and have a great day.